Alrighty. Welcome to the Bedroom Studios official podcast, season 2, episode 8. This is fantastic that we're getting this far, and we have a lot of willing musicians that are stepping up to the plate and want to just chat, just be music nerds, and any aspect of music nerd kingdom, today, this episode, I have another person that is also really far away from me. We're just on a streak right now. This is the third episode where someone's just super far away. And we have Nathan, oh wow, I already forgot how to pronounce it. Gerrior? No.
Yep, Gerrior.
Gerrior, okay. I should know, I have some French in me, but it's just generic French. It's Samson. But it's good to actually finally hear your voice and actually talk to you, because we've just been chatting a little bit just through DMs as of recent, and just seeing each other in passing and just been enticed with the same things,
Yeah, no, likewise. Yep.
So I think the first time I heard about you would have been around when would it have been? It would have been Music Week 2025.
Yep, so that would have been Yarmouth last fall. We were both in the same category, I think, right?
Yeah, it was Blues Recording of the Year.
Yep.
I was looking at all these, and I was like 11th and Duke, and I was like, okay, I didn't know anybody except like Charlie Acourt.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, let's see what everyone else has to say. So, and then all of a sudden, I see your name pop up again for the Nova Scotia Stampede after party.
Right, yes, that was at the engine room in Truro last fall.
Yeah, that was, I enjoyed myself. Sadly, we were on 2 different days, and there was another name that I didn't get to see as well. Brandon Silver. I think he was on the same night with you.
Uh, I've heard the name a lot, but I don't know if we've ever crossed paths yet. I have seen some of his videos and stuff, kind of like similar to you and me, but seems like a great musician as well.
Yeah, it's what I like to do is whenever I finally get to like meet people, it's he said his backstory. Like he's from Pictou, and he came over from Ontario and just clean slate with a brand new band, and it's just like, and he's done some good things. He's got some experience under his belt here. He did something at the Scotiabank Center down in Halifax with his band, and now he's got a brand new 5-piece band, and it's going to be good to see where that goes, if they can play anywhere that I am available to go see. And that's another thing as well. With 11th and Duke, that's another thing. I still need to go see either just you solo, or I just need to see 11th and Duke as a duo. And you guys mentioned that you had a band too, wasn't it?
Yep. So I do a lot of solo work, and then me and my wife do the duo thing, and then we also have a 6-piece band as well.
6-piece.
Yep. So harmonica player, uh, bass player, drummer, lead, and then Mag plays the keys and sings, and then I play acoustic and sing.
Okay.
Yep.
So my question is, obviously everyone's got a story for how a band name comes into fruition. So was that like the both streets you guys grew up on, or something, like 11th Street and Duke Street or something?
Yep. So that's my grandfather built that house after World War II. Um, he moved. It's kind of a funny story. He moved here up in Trenton, I'd say just a little bit after the turn of the century. Like him and his family moved here from Maitland, and then they started working down at the car works, which is at the bottom of the hill in Trenton, if you know the area. And then my grandfather, he went to war, and he worked down the car works, and he built a house on the corner of 11th and Duke. And it's funny, me and my wife just bought a house about 200 yards down the road on 11th Street. So about 120 some years, we've got about 300 yards away from each other.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, pretty cool.
So, are you not Truro bound?
Nope. So born and raised in Trenton. Yeah, Pictou
Okay.
County.
Oh, okay. So you're the neighboring county over like that. So many people, and I've only discovered the Truro music scene. I think it's about like, oh god, we're going on 2.5 years now.
Feel about the same. We're just started kind of. We only started the band about just a little under 3 years ago. And we've been just kind of the same thing, breaking into different scenes around the province. And we just started going over there again, maybe a couple years ago. We started going to Truro.
Well, I've seen. I mean, everything that I've seen. Cause I only follow. Well, I follow 11th and Duke, but I only follow you. No other bandmates, your wife or anything like that. But I just see like the amount of shows that you're pulling. It's like, man, where are all these places coming from?
Yeah, I'm pretty steady. Like I work hard at it. I'm constantly, you know, turning over every rock and pounding the pavement. Like, um, yeah, we've just really constantly trying to, constantly hustling up gigs and making connections and just always kind of trying to get to that greener pasture. You know what I mean?
I do respect the hustle. It's I mean everyone's doing the same thing, and you guys seem to be, right in line with everyone that's trying to fight for first. Again, not trying to treat it as a competition, but like just hearing again, I've only heard about you guys like when I got nominated back in July, right? And then after following you guys and adding you, oh my goodness, they're doing so much, and it's like goodness, oh my goodness. And that's the thing. It's like it's so weird that like someone just about like I guess an hour and a half away, right? Um, and then all of a sudden you just take a dive in, not creep their profile or anything, but you just take a little dive in. You go, oh my goodness, these guys are on the same flow that I am. It's like, and I've never met them before.
No, I find that too. Like again, we've only been really doing it. I've only been really doing professionally doing music for a, about 3 years. Like so, and then I've only really playing live out in the community for about four. So I'm kind of a late bloomer, I suppose. Like, but I find everything's new to us. So like, we don't really we don't know we didn't know the sound guy, we didn't know the media guy, we didn't know our neighboring community people, like people from the city. So everything's kind of fresh and new to us too. So we're still kind of just breaking in. I find a little bit for being older musicians, I guess, middle aged.
Oh, that means nothing. I mean, I'm a late. I consider myself a late bloomer too. I I only started in like 2021, and I had to deal with the halting and the precautions and the withholds
I
of the
remember that.
pandemic.
Yeah, that's right about when I started. Just after a lot of the uh, like the mandates and everything during COVID, we had to social distance and all that. And I remember just starting then, and it was kind of like tough time to start. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I really didn't plan for that to happen. My my main goal was to finish university first, and then have burden of just a bunch of knowledge obtaining off to the side after, and then actually go out and start meeting people and start performing more. That was my goal. And
Yeah.
in doing that, a lot of people think that I'm in my 30s.
Right, right.
Did you think I was in my 30s?
Uh, I thought you were probably pretty close. I was gonna say about that age, maybe.
I'll say it right now. And a lot of people say the exact same thing. Back when I started, I would have been like 22 in August of 2021, but everyone thought
Oh,
I was 33 years old. I don't know
uh,
why.
could be the stash. Maybe it just kind of makes you seem like maybe like a '90s dad or something. Kind of got that vibe a little bit. Like,
Well, I'll say it right now.
But I
in
dig
like
the
six.
stats just to like cover my own arse. I
I'll
dig the
say it right
stats.
now. And like, I'm 27 on Wednesday. That's how old I.
Oh wow! Happy birthday, man!
Oh, thank you. Uh, the yeah, 27 June 3rd. That's it's and everyone still thinks I'm in my 30s. Everyone thinks I'm like 38 now or something like that. I have a feeling it is the stash. I've never really let the stash grow out until 2021 basically.
I see a lot of people with them now. I feel like it definitely is like a '90s tribute, maybe a little bit to all of our our folks. Because I see a lot of like people maybe around our age rocking the stash, which I always liked it. Like I always had a beard. I never did just the full stash, but I do like it. It reminds me a lot like the '90s, late '80s dads.
So here's the thing though. I mentioned I have French in me as well. I have Cape Breton French in me. And
Oh,
with that comes some disadvantages. The disadvantage is I can't grow a beard.
okay.
I can't.
Right.
It's finally grown in a little bit, but it was this nasty circle bald spot under my
Right.
chin, and it's always like really patchy. So it's like, okay, 5 days after a shave, I think that's long enough. Time to take it off.
This is the first and only beard I've ever grown. I did it during COVID, and I the first time I ever grew one, and then I just kind of stuck over the last I don't know 5 or 6 years, I guess.
I'll tell you now, the beard is nice. Like I think the photo that you sent me for this, that was like a sharp looking beard. Like that looked like it just got trimmed before a performance.
Thank you, man.
No, it was
Yeah,
clean.
it gets a little wild at the end of the winter. So I find like I just got a haircut, got my but March, early April, it looks pretty shaggy.
There's times I let this grow out and the handlebars just get a little too crazy, so I just gotta like chop them off. And then I gotta play a game of like cat and mouse to line them up. That's another con about mustaches, and I guess I'm still new to the mustache game, but that's one thing about facial hair. It's just like it, and I've been told, yeah, the mustache is not gonna be even. Your mustache will never be even. Like, man, I want it to look.
I feel like it throws off when you try to guess someone's age too with a beard or a mustache. You're kind of like, you could be 22 or you could be 38. Like it's kind of that.
Oh man,
It throws you off a little bit.
there was people in my like grade 11 class that had full grown beards.
I remember
16
those
year
kids
olds.
too.
It's terrifying. 16-year-olds with full grown beards.
I probably didn't even start shaving until then. So
Oh jeez. I had a with me, I don't think I even put a razor to my face until like oh god, probably grade 11 as well. It was just like hair started finally coming out and it just looked bad, so I was just like, okay, take it off.
yes,
But
I rocked the clean shave a long time.
yeah, this one's god, how long is this? This one's 2.5 years old. Yeah. This I took it off just the few days before New Year's Eve 2024. And then I
Right.
was just like, I'm so fed up with it. Just take it off. And then everyone's looking at me like, what the hell did you do? You ever
That's
got that? You
funny.
ever like, I guess, yeah, you said this is the first beard that you have, but like, even if you like trim up the sides a little bit or you touch it up, does anyone go like, what the hell did you do?
I remember doing that when when we were kids. I don't know. It was me and my brother would always, usually at the end of the winter, just shave our heads, but not bald, but buzz cuts, right? And then I used to just do my annual buzz cut. So I can remember that a lot when I was a kid. Like, where'd all your hair go from? Maybe late winter, early spring, and then you just grow it again, one full year, buzz it again. So I can remember that back in the day. Just the annual good old buzz cut for uh, playoff season.
Oh, that's funny. Oh man. The let's circle back to music here, opposing to hair. Uh the so were you doing music, or were you like learning your instruments, and then all of a sudden found your now wife and just happened she was a musician, or was it just like you guys started music like around the time you got married?
So we were actually teammates in Timbit hockey.
Oh,
When I was like, I think I was 6 and she was 5, so that's where we met. And then I went to French immersion out at her school, and we went to school together from grade 4 till 12. Well, actually, I dropped out and went to work and went back. But anyway, from about grade 4 till high school, and then we started doing music together in middle school. So we would, at in the band room and stuff, and she would teach me stuff, and she still kind of takes credit, teaching me how to like sing from my belly. So if she was here right now, that would be her side of the story. She definitely kind of taught me how to put a little more like muscle on, a little more like growl and stuff.
okay.
But that's where we met a long time ago, and then we actually got engaged last last May on the red carpet at the ECMAs. So that's pretty
Oh,
cool.
so this marriage is recent.
Well, we never really popped the question. Well, we never really tied the knot. We just this is more, we say the wife, because
Oh, okay.
I mean, we got a 14-year-old and a 10-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Okay, okay.
So yeah, I popped the question on the red carpet at the ECMAs in Newfoundland last year.
That's a move right there, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I don't think she didn't see it coming. I kind of like went down to tie my shoe. She's like, "What are you doing?" And then I kind of pulled the box out, and
Oh.
she's pretty surprised. Yeah.
Did anyone else know in your
Well,
friend group that was there?
no, I don't think I told anyway. It was actually my dad's ring that he gave to my mother back in the '70s. So that was the ring I gave her. So
Oh
they're
wow.
the only ones that knew about it.
Oh wow. That is
Yep.
you're sneaky man, that's what you are. Nobody knows. Except your parents.
She
Nobody
kind
knows.
of smuggled it to Newfoundland in her luggage, and then like the day of, she kind of slipped it to me, and I kind of hid it in my sock drawer, and then I had it in my suit, and I was like, we were taking all these pictures and stuff, and I was like, I kept getting her to go on this side of me, so it wasn't on the side with the ring in my breast pocket. And I don't know if she's kind of like, why do you keep getting me to stand on this side of you? But she never really clued in, I don't think.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's always good to do it at such like a high. I mean, I wouldn't. Would you call ECMA's red carpet a high pressure area?
Well, once they popped the question, I was good to go. I was like, oh, got that over with. I thought it was great after that. I put too much pressure on myself. It's funny, we got the lady from the Blues Society to film it for me.
Oh
And she's
my
like, I was
goodness.
like, can you take a picture? And she's just like, I was like, I'll just take a video for us and I'll edit it. And then you can kind of hear her narrating in the background of the video. And she just made it that much more funny. So that was pretty cool from the East Coast Blues Society. But
That's freaking
she
awesome.
was great. Yeah.
So,
She's kind of like, what's going on? Hey, what are these guys doing? And she's like, hey. But yeah, sorry. Yeah, she's pretty cool.
so how did you were you just friends with the woman from the Blue Society, or?
Well, she actually invited us to come sit at their table because we got nominated for an ECMA for our song "The Phoenix."
Oh,
So we were nominated for an ECMA for a blues recording of the year, and she was just nice enough to offer us a couple seats, and we got to sit with them at the show there. And it was actually my first like big arena show ever, so that was kind of cool too.
that's okay. So Music Week wasn't the first Blues Recording of the Year nominee. You guys are.
Yeah, we got the ECMA nod, and then we went there last May, and then we got the Nova Scotia Music nomination for the fall of last year.
So I remember talking in the DMs. You guys weren't even like bound to any genre. Now all of a sudden you're two-time blues recording nominees. So what are we doing?
Yeah, we're a mixed genre for sure. Like the whole project was it's all dedicated to my late brother who passed away a few years ago, and it was a bit of a collective. So what we did was we just kind of made a band together with we had two bass players, a harmonica player, a fiddle player, um, banjo player. Like we just kind of made a collective, and they all came together for me and Meg. And I had all these songs in the bank. So on the album, they're all our originals that I wrote, but uh, we have a different like kind of lineup on every song, if that makes that kind of sense.
Oh yeah, that does.
So like me, Meg, and the drummer are on every song, and then we have a kind of a rotating lineup throughout the whole album. And the name of it's called 105 Reasons Why, which is actually the civic number at my grandfather's house on Duke Street.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And it's
Okay.
kind of a cool story. Like, it's a bit of a long story, but it's like we started the project on my brother's birthday, September 2nd, 2023. And then twice a week for one full year, we put out two stories. So like I just wrote stories about the band, the neighborhood, me and my brother, and then me and Mag, and like we put out two stories a week for 52 weeks, and that we actually like did 105 stories to go with the album,
Holy Lord, lift.
and it brought us right back around to his birthday, 24. So it was pretty cool how it just lined up perfectly, and then 105 was the 105, which was the album. So
There's
it's a bit of a it was a huge passion project, all dedicated to my late brother. That's what it really was. Like,
that is powerful.
yeah, it was, and the way the band came together, I was always like so grateful for them all. Like, and we whipped it together so fast. Like, I think I would say we were jamming in late October and we were recording in like late January. That's how quick we kind of whipped it together.
Wow, okay.
And then we kind of recorded off of that for the next couple months, filling everything in. But by the end of like May-ish, June, we had her done. But within 6 months, we had it recorded, tracked, and mastered, and ready to go for September.
Huh,
Yeah,
huh.
it was pretty. It just kind of came together. I don't know, like it was just like a special project, man. Like I don't know. We were very lucky time wise that it all worked out, and that we had the great group of guys that joined us on the project, and that which is the band now too. Which I'm grateful that they kept wanting to be like. They're like, well, fuck, we did. Oh, sorry, we did pretty good. Why don't we just keep going, kind of thing. So I was just grateful that they're like, let's keep this thing going. Like,
Now the alternating band idea that I you don't hear people do that much anymore. I mean, people can say session players, but that don't count. Um,
yeah, no,
I
we
think
wanted it to be a community thing for sure.
I think the last time something like that happened was probably Steely Dan.
Oh, that is literally my favorite band, dude.
That's what they
I
did.
love Steely Dan so much.
They always brought in different. So here's they would have a lineup of different professional musicians, and they like they would do the song with one guitarist, one bassist, one drummer, and then they would do it again with the other, with another bassist, guitarist, and a drummer. Then do it again, and then just be like, okay, that's probably the best version. We'll take that as the final recording.
Yeah, I always thought that was a really cool, like, it's a little bit a little greedy on their part in a way. It's like, you know what I mean? He's like, I'm just gonna pick the cherries and we're gonna make the best pie ever. Like, but it worked.
Well, yeah,
So I
I
don't
mean,
blame them.
they had tape to waste, I'll tell you that.
Oh my god, they're so good. They're like they're definitely my favorite band over the last 5 years or so. I really got into them during COVID and I had a deep dive there for a couple of years of all their albums, but yeah, such a good band.
And another person that'd be basically a perfectionist, but I think he always kept the same session players is Michael Jackson.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Another
Several
great.
takes.
Yeah, you hear the stories about him, and it's just like amazing how good of years he had, and like just he knew exactly what he wanted.
It was terrifying how if you ever listen to his isolated tracks, it's terrifying how like perfect his harmonies are. And
Yeah, he's
auto
such a
tune
great.
wasn't invented.
He didn't need it, I don't
No,
think.
it was crazy because it sounded like a computer. It sounded computerized and way too polished, which is basically your like what people will sound like now. Back then in like the early '80s, you're pulling that off, you know.
Yeah, he was definitely one of a kind for sure.
I
I was thinking too there, like where I kind of got the idea of it was I had like a guitar mentor back when I was a teenager, Bob Petroff, and he did a project. I think it was like the late '90s. It's called Locomotion. So what they did was they got all the local Pictou County bands, and everybody did a couple originals, and that's why they kind of called it Locomotion, where like all the cars are connected to the one thing. And he was my buddy's uncle, so we were always down there hanging with his kids, and we got to be teenagers, and I'd always bug him to teach me stuff, but he was always so proud of Locomotion. And it's like a Pictou County, like everybody knows about Locomotion. And they did a number two actually, the in the late thousands, I think it was, or but I always thought that was so cool where you just kind of every song's a little bit different with a different lineup. So we did take a lot of inspiration from Bob's and his buddies' projects. So that was a little bit where we got that idea of a little bit of a different lineup on each song, but still kind of like the core was our original like writings, but everybody put their own little twist on it.
that's I've never even heard of Locomotion. That's a powerful passion project as well. Every song had different players. What?
So yeah, everybody kind of chipped in for it, and they all put. So say it was like I don't know exactly. Say it's 8 bands, 10 bands. Everybody puts 2 songs on the album. Everybody chips in, a few $100. They pay for the studio, pay for the CDs, and then they kind of made like a Pictou County greatest hits, is what it really was. And then yeah,
This is crazy. This is still before my time. Good lord, stuff going on in Pictou.
we're definitely super fortunate here in Pictou County. Is just it's chock full of good musicians and like from the up and comers to the old timers and everybody in between. Like we're super fortunate that way, and we definitely have some really good like venues to play at, which is super nice. But also the patrons, the people that come out every night and come to the bars and go to the restaurants, and we don't really give them enough credit, I think, because they're the ones who really make the scene so nice here in Pictou County. And it saves you a lot of travel. Like if you're trying to just, stay within kind of this area, you can make a bit of a living off it where you don't have to leave so much.
I wish I could say the same. Like I find it so much easier to play outside of HRM or just outside of Lower Sackville. I find I have a higher opportunity with getting gigs uh, elsewhere.
Yeah, I've been trying to branch out quite a bit. It's hard to break into scenes. I find Pictou County's pretty open. Like we're always pretty welcoming. I find outside musicians. Like I've met plenty of them uptown at like the Shoebox and stuff where we recorded, and I find like it's kind of a little bit of a breath of fresh air when you see a new musician or new band come into play. You're like, well, if you it's not the same guys, and it gives us a little bit of time to breathe. So then when we do come back out and play at a place, you're like, oh, it's good to kind of see the old guys again, like or the locals again.
I I mean, my first ever time playing in Pictou was at the start of the month. Um, I was talking to Sarah Watson about this last week. It was Rachel was like, "Hey, May 2nd just opened at Nook and Pictou. Who wants it?" And I said, "Me. I'll take it right now. Give it to me." And that was the first time just ever being like when I was looking like where do I go specifically, like where is Pictou basically, and it was like past the bridge, and I was like, this is so far away from the main exit. I was surprised like people would know, and then it's just like the place was packed.
Yeah, like again, we're kind of we're definitely on both sides of the coin with the amount of talent and then the amount of venues that do take us all in, and then all the great crowds, and like I've kind of come to appreciate that almost more than the musicians, because like you always have those people that come out to see your shows, or they're always at the like they come to the watering hole every Thursday or every, and they kind of follow you around a little bit. Like it is really, we're definitely very fortunate. I'm sure it's the same in other like communities, but I feel like we're pretty lucky with our locals that kind of make the scene.
I mean, again, I find a higher opportunity to perform outside of HRM, and let alone like outside of Sackville. Like,
Right.
I mean, there's like maybe 3 or 4 spots in Sackville to play live music, but I find just going into like the other parts of HRM versus Sackville, there's always a higher opportunity, and then all the other neighboring counties versus HRM, there's always a higher opportunity there, or a higher percentage to actually get something confirmed, and it upsets me. It's like, yeah, I gotta, yay, I can perform right in this new spot, but it's like, why is it always outside of Halifax?
I find it hard to break into the scene too. I've talked to many musicians. It's a tough scene to break into. Like I find I get a lot more opportunities in the small towns, like like Canso and Port Hood and St. Peters and Tatamagouche and Wentworth. Like I find the smaller communities are more inviting, and I feel like the city, and I don't really know exactly. It might be a little more closed off and a little more like you got to be in there with the click a little bit. Maybe I don't know either. I could be just. It feels that way.
Yeah, it no, you hit that right on the head. It's kind of like one of those things like that, like shall not be named. It's kind of like
Right. Right.
Voldemort. Because if you call it out, then everyone just starts going like, it's everyone against everybody. They'll be like, oh, we're not like, you better not be referring to me. This is not a clique. No,
Right.
and then it's just like, oh no, man, I'm not referring to you.
I
Aggressive
think the
side
best
eye.
thing I found, what I've noticed, is just keep banging on the door, even if like in a tasteful way. Maybe not every week or every month, but just come back, knock on the door, go to the side, knock on the window. They're bound to open the door eventually for you, man. That's what I've kind of noticed. You know what I mean? You just give them a little breathing room. You come back, like, hey, I'm still here, just here to bug you again. One of
Yeah,
these times, they'll just say, this guy's driving me nuts. Let him come play for one gig. You know what I mean? But
the amount of times I've done follow up emails, oh, it's crazy.
yeah, and it's all part of the game, kind of like. I mean, you got to kind of have that. Like it feels like a little bit uh, like repetitive thing where you do the follow up, you give it a little time, you see what the next schedule is, and then. But if you're lucky, you can kind of talk to them a little bit before the gigs or after the gigs, but it is a grind. It's a hustle, but I could be doing. I used to do roofing with my brother. I used to do plumbing. I did construction and carpentry. I used to work at a sawmill. So I kind of like think of it that way. I mean, if I'm still getting by, paying the bills with it, I'm doing all right.
The Oh man, I don't know if you and your wife have done this yet, but like everyone's, as soon as summer hits, everyone's showing up their massive like schedule for the summer.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
basically being knocking on the doors. I'll tell you right now, I started in January,
yeah. I feel you, brother.
and in terms of summer, I have like 3 Fridays I just can't get confirmed.
Yeah, there's a few of them, and those are almost like I had a few like that. I'm like, I should probably stop trying to fill those days forcefully, and like almost use those days to chill and maybe reset. Because right now we're all kind of gung ho for the summer, but come the end of July, you're like, oh, maybe that Friday off might have been kind of nice, and to go into August or whatever. Like, 'cause I know last summer kind of did that to ourselves. We burnt ourselves out a little bit. But what we did was we moved in August too, so we were gigging and like moving with the whole family, and it was a tough summer last year. But we got through it, and it was busy, but good.
There was only one instant last year I successfully tackled the Maritimes within 1 month.
Right.
And I think the only bad instance I had was I finished the lineup of New Brunswick shows and my voice gave out. I lost my voice.
Oh gosh,
So it was
rough.
basically
Yeah.
like the last half hour of my show, my voice started to go.
Right. Oh no.
And I was like, okay, at least it's the last show. I just gotta go back to Moncton to Grand Bay, go to sleep, and then just leave in the morning. And I had to come back because another a client, you probably know her, Kelsey Erskine.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
she was here. She was working on her EP. She did like 2/3 of it here, and she was like, "Is this Sunday good?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll try. I'll try to get home like 2:30, 3 o'clock." And I made it a pit stop in Alok. Horrible decision. Horrible decision to go to that big stop. It took an hour and a half just to eat food. So then I'm there, and she was like, "Where were you?" And I come out sounding like I got caught up in a lag, and she was like, "Oh my god, your voice!" Sounded like
Yeah.
I was like a chain smoker for 40 years.
Greg. Yeah, that's no good. I remember my fingers were sore last year. That's what I remember. It was like almost the in between shows. I almost had like I don't even remember. I was just like my fingers were sore.
Oh man,
So I think I got new strings and lowered the action, got thinner strings, and I was just like maybe that'll help. But your voice, that's a tough one. I'm like, I don't even want to think of that because that's really for probably both of us. That's probably more of the money maker than the guitar playing so much. Like
yeah.
people want to
I
come and hear you sing. I would say like 90% of the people out there, right?
There's been times like I think today, um, yeah. Okay, so the Friday that just happened, I filled in for Brian Harvey at this place called Latitude 44, and it was a quick
Okay.
5 to 8, and then after that, I just went down South End Halifax to go host my open mic. That last half hour, my voice was gone.
Oh no.
So then I woke up Saturday and I was like, it kind of feels funny to swallow.
Ugh.
And then Sunday through Wednesday, I was hot water, lemon, and honey because I was like, yeah, overexertion. Here we go. And I'm a guy who's prone to strep throat. I've been prone to strep throat my whole life. I just could never get my tonsils removed because I never hit like the total amount for the tonsillectomy to happen at a young age, which is
Right,
annoying.
right.
So I just had to suffer. So now it's literally just if I sing too much, and it's the track record is my right tonsil always hurts.
Right. That's yeah. I wish I had wood to knock on right now because I'm sitting in the car because it's probably the quietest place. But I wish I had some wood to knock on because I'm a bit of a superstitious person, I guess. Not so much, but I am. I guess I think
Here's
I I I am, but I tell myself I'm not.
the hard. I guess the hard part is just having to deal with it and then just keep doing the remedy to actually fix the problem. Um,
Right, right.
but yeah, this it was I'd say a quick turnover, 4 days.
Yeah, at least it was a weekend where you got it all done, and then you could recover for your next weekend, kind of thing.
Right, right. Like
Yeah.
I'm up in Truro on Saturday, and then literally tomorrow or Friday I'm in Wolfville. So we're doing back to back shows. We'll see if I'm alive or dead or not. You know.
One nice thing about being in Sackville is you're kind of right in the heart of the province. You can kind of shoot out any way. I guess other than Cape Breton's pretty far maybe for you, but like you can kind of shoot to Truro, shoot to the valley, everywhere in the HRM, kind of up to if you really want to venture up our way or down to Yarmouth, kind of in the heartland there a little bit.
I'll say I'm far from everything.
Oh, you feel like you're far away?
Going to downtown Halifax is 30 minutes.
Right, right.
Going to Truro is an hour. Going to your neck of the woods, 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Going to Yarmouth is 3 hours on the nose. That was the second time I've been to Yarmouth. The first time was it was a back-to-back festival with a band that I was in. We first did the Coal Shed Music Festival in Yarmouth. We pit stopped in Kemptville, not Kentville, Kemptville, and then did Aylesford, which was Fox Mountain when that was still a thing. And I did not enjoy Sackville to Yarmouth. I didn't enjoy that at all. Back when it was 3.5 hours, and I get so tired if it's like anything over a half hour.
Yeah. Pretty much anywhere outside of Pictou County for us is like Churro's about 45 minutes, Tattamagush about the same, Antigonish is about the same, and then Port Hawkesbury is about an hour, I guess, or so, and then up to your way is about an hour and 40, 50 for us. So we're kind of like for the mainland of Nova Scotia, we're pretty good because we have a few options to go east or west. But I find to get to Moncton or to Halifax, you got about that little over 2 hour drive.
Disgusting, man. And the thing is, this province, it's so the times that I've been in New Brunswick, I've realized like how efficient New Brunswick is, even though it's way bigger than our province. Like, I would go to St. John, and then Quispamsis to St. John is 15 minutes. Quispamsis to Hampton, 15 minutes. Right?
Right.
If I wanted to go to Grand Bay Westfield, it was like 15 to 20 minutes. If I go to La Pro, it's like 25 to 30 minutes. Everything was just like that. Like everything was just right there. Like it was just right next to one another.
Right.
And it was so nice. And then my friends, when they go to when they're from New Brunswick and they come here, they go, "Why is everything so far away from each other?" I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Sackville to Alderney Landing is like 30 minutes. Sackville to Halifax is like 30 minutes." I'm like, I don't know.
I gotta blame the ancestors. I kind of joke around about that out here in the winter time. You're snow blowing. You come in the house and you're like, "Oh, I just curse every one of those Acadian SOBs. I wish they would have went to Louisiana with the rest of them."
Yeah, no, I'm very surprised. Like, so Cape Breton basically had a lot of Acadian French as well. I mean, there's a lot of, I guess, household names. There's Samson, uh, Mumberket, Martel, and a lot Doucette. There's a lot of names, and I'm very surprised. I was like, did these guys just come back, or did these guys just hide during the wartime?
Yeah, a lot of them they fought against them, and a lot of them they banned it with the like the natives, and they tried to fight the resistance, and then some of them became loyalists, and it's a pretty rich history. The one thing we do have in the Maritimes,
I'm
it's kind of cool. We have a book here. My wife got me a few years ago. It's called Acadian Awakenings,
oh,
and it's just like the history of all the Acadians. And actually, me and my mom and my dad and my brother are in one of the last chapters of it. And it's like a picture. It's like a Sears picture from like '95 or Zellers or one of those places where it's just like it kind of has all the families and the lineages of where they came from. And but it's a pretty cool history because they came here, they lived here for about 150 years peacefully, mostly peacefully with the natives, and learned their ways, and they helped each other. And then the British came, and they were just having none of that. And then they tried to fight them, and then it just didn't work out as the plan.
I will say one thing though. In Nova Scotia, I'm glad that a part of the heritage has come back to us. And you
Yeah,
may think, oh, what is this? What is this young man talking about? Uh, Popeyes. Popeyes.
Popeye's chicken.
Yes.
We don't.
Cajun seasoning.
Oh, I was like, okay, I'm gonna let him finish this because I get you now.
Yeah, because it's Louisiana chicken, and then like literally a third to like 4/9 of their menu is Cajun.
Right, we don't have one up this way. I've always wanted to try it, but I don't think I've ever had it before.
I'll say it right now. I find it in terms of like places that have fried chicken. I would say uh, Newfoundlanders are going to agree with this one. Mary Brown's better than KFC.
Right, right.
It's because it's less greasy.
I
Um,
just every time I hear Mary Brown's, I think of this funny story. We were at the ECMAs, and there's this lady. She's a famous opera singer, and then she sold out Madison Square Garden and Carnegie Hall, and it's just funny. Like the guy from CBC's like, well, this lady here, she has played at Madison Square Garden and in Paris, France, and now she's singing in a hockey rink named after chicken.
Jeez.
And she came out was the best. And that's one thing I noticed too when you go and watch like some live shows. It's like I might not throw on her song on my Spotify playlist, but she was probably the best like performer of the night. And I'm not throwing on opera on a regular night, but wow, man, like you just something about the live performances where you're just like, I can see why all these people are at the top of the food chain. Like they are really, really good.
Oh, it's absolutely like it's terrifying to go see an opera performance because it's just like you see it's depicted like in movies or something, and it's just like, oh yeah, we know what's gonna happen. Like this woman is gonna sing very high falsetto, and then you go actually endure it, and you're like, oh my god,
Yeah, I
I'm just
mean,
gonna stop singing, you know?
she did a couple songs, and I think a few hours of that would be tough. But I mean, for the 2 or 3 songs she did, you're just like it kind of blew me away how good she was, and I was like, again, you never in a million years would I throw on an opera song on my Spotify, you know what I mean? But something about when you go out and see people, I think I think our cell phones and the way we kind of do our thing now with promoting ourselves, it doesn't really do it justice. You know what I mean? And you probably come across that with cell phone recordings or like, you know what I mean? Like you just doesn't.
Yeah,
I don't feel like it does the real performance justice.
unless it's like a really good camera,
Yeah.
then it's justified. Like I'll say it right now. Real quick before I say it though, circling back to the chicken real quickly. Basically, Mary Brown's is better than KFC. Popeyes is better than Mary Brown's.
Okay.
That's I will die on that hill. And obviously,
I
I didn't
think I
try
only
like
had
Raising Cane's when I went to Nashville or anything, but like Popeyes is like my S tier for chicken.
right. I think I've
So
only had it one time too. Again, we're a little sheltered up here in the mainland. We don't have a Mary Brown's either, so it's like I think
next time I come up, I'll bring some Popeyes. But what was I saying? Back to cameras. Yeah, if it's a good camera, then it's justifiable and it can actually properly capture a performance. And I'm not saying like everyone. If you're going to a live show, you need a good camera. But shout out Darcy Walsh for everything that he did, all the recordings that he did, for just in
absolutely.
general, and like let alone the time that I've experienced him was the after party for the Stampede.
Yeah, Darcy's he's a great guy. He's definitely one of a kind, man. And we're super thankful for him. He's I don't know, he must burn the candle at both ends literally because he's a workhorse, man.
Yeah, he's
Such
doing the
a
Lord's work here.
He's productive, man. I wish I had his energy.
Yeah, and then you were on. Were you on one of his series that he does in New Glasgow?
Oh yeah, we did that in April. We did one of the songwriter circles.
Oh man, I'm still on the wait list.
He's got I think he's gonna run it right probably into next year. So it seems like a pretty cool thing, and I think the town and the square's liking it. So hopefully that will just keep on running, right? And maybe they'll take a little break for Christmas and then keep it running into next year. Because
Yeah,
it was really fun. It was.
it seems like a blast. Obviously, you have good camera quality, you have good sound production, and it's just singer originals, man. Just give her.
It's funny, like shout out to Darcy again. I think he's the one who took that picture I sent you. That he had the watermark in the corner, the
Oh,
one you
what?
used for
Let
your
me look. Let me look. Hold on a
I think
second.
every picture I have for all my posters are from Darcy.
Ah, it is. Yep, East Coast DNA.
Yeah,
Oh man, the one
yeah,
with the super sharp beard. Look at that.
yes.
Nah, he
No,
got you on a
Darcy's
good day.
wicked. That's awesome. But
Oh, that's
yeah, he's a hardworking man. He was up for another ECMA this last weekend. I was listening to it on my drive to the city, but another fella got it. But I feel like he's right in the ring with all the best in the Maritimes in that field.
yeah. I'm very surprised if he's nominated and he doesn't win. It's like, who's doing more than Darcy?
I know. I feel like he's. It was funny. We were down there for Music Week in Yarmouth, and what's the two-piece band? The Orchids.
The Orchids, yeah.
Orchids. He was right in front of the mosh pit, and he was right getting in tight, and they were moshing right behind him. And I was sitting there from the side of the stage watching him. I was just like, man, that guy is the best. Like they're pushing him, and they're all pushing each other. He's down on one knee, snapping shots, and I was like, that's dedication right there.
I will say though, when he filmed the after party, I mean, I just know my set list basically, almost to a T. But when he filmed, when he filmed the two songs, we did "Are You Ready for the Country," which is Waylon's cover of the Neil Young song, and when we did "Do It Again," Waylon's cover of the Steely Dan song, um, he was up close and personal, and that was when like the dance floor wasn't as crazy.
Right, right.
And then if you look at all the other photos, he's way in the back because it was like sardines.
Right, right, right.
I'll send you the photo. I think I still have it. It was there was two. I think it was both during or when we did Sweet Home Alabama. But like the place was like friggin' sardines, and there was so many
Right.
people bumping up against one another, and then you just see the crowd, and you're like, oh my goodness, yeah. There's a reason why he's in the back.
Safest place to be right now, probably.
Yeah, I don't want to like drop that camera. Good lord.
Yeah.
He's
No, yeah, he's hard working man for sure.
and I mean Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think I have the same work ethic, but no one's got that work ethic. In terms of work ethic, with all the stuff that you're playing, is it like, how does it work? Do you prefer doing solo? Do you prefer doing 11 and Duke? Is it all based on the availability of your wife? Because you said she was working tonight.
Yeah, so we had a baby there. Our son going on 2 years ago, so it was kind of crazy. Like we had him a day after my birthday a couple of years ago, and then we put the album out in September. Had the baby 2 weeks later, so it was like we've been gigging since she's been pregnant. After we had the baby, during the maternity leave, now she's back to work. We're still gigging. So it's like I feel she's a diehard too. I feel like she's constantly, yeah, she's always in my corner there. But mostly right now is solo. Right now, just making a buck, paying the bills. But we we do duos more of right now. It's like the special ones. Like we did Darcy's thing. Uh, we have a gig tomorrow or Saturday night. And then we have some town events like coming up for the town of Trenton and Westville. And then the Jubilee community stage we're going to do up here is our summer festival, the Jubilee. But it's more like got to kind of pick our battles now. It's not like we're just available all the time. So it's kind of like, again, kind of got to pick our battles and pick the most important ones to do the duos with. Because like she works at Michelin, so it's a bit of a crazy schedule where it's 3 day shifts, two off, two night shifts, 3 days off, and then three night shifts. So it's a really wonky schedule over there at Michelin.
Okay.
So you got to kind of play ball with that now too.
So basically, when you get gigs lined up for, like, I don't know how you work. How do you work? I work like 3 to 4 months out. What's your ethic?
You mean like in advance kind of thing?
Yeah. So what do you do? Do you like try to get Phil 3 months out and then, or like 4 months out, then worry about the next few months at the end, or?
Oh yeah, that's usually how it goes. Like you just kind of like we're pretty lucky to be on a rotation with a lot of the bars around. So if you played at one, okay, probably a month from now you'll play there again, or 2 months, and then we're on rotation with a lot of like there's a couple down Tattamagush, um, uh, Anakanish, Churro. So we kind of like have our rotation, but still constantly seeking new venues, which has been I've been pretty hard at it there this spring to open some new doors and venues. So I find to kind of get the call back is we're usually pretty good for that, but to get your foot in the door can be maybe the more tricky part of the business. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I still find it terrifying sometimes, but I have to just, shut the hell up and just do it. It's like I want to play, so I have to. I gotta pull my socks on. I gotta put the big boy pants on. I gotta say, hey, I want to play here. Here's proof of me being talented. You know?
No, I know what you mean. Like I I can like pretty good guess that I probably sent out 300 emails in the last 2 months to everything from golf clubs, yacht clubs,
Oh my
ball
goodness.
club. You know what I mean? Every bar from I'm gonna say from like I said, from Port Hood to the Valley to Moncton to Canso. You know what I mean? Everywhere in between, every watering hole, like just constantly trying to get the doors open. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're putting me
Which
to
has
shame
been
here. I'm not even working as hard as you.
oh, I can honestly say probably about 300 different places I've probably emailed. And
I've probably
it's a
done
bit
maybe
like
half.
sales.
Definitely
What's
done.
that?
I've definitely done half of that.
But the thing is, you get 10 new spots, you get seven of them to call you back, you get five of them that are your new, you're on the rotation. So, it's just kind of the way it is. you're gonna get a lot of no's. You're gonna get a lot of nobody answers yous. You're gonna get a lot of we don't need yous. But I think that's the thing is just you kind of come back around maybe in the fall, knock on the door again. Oh, well, we got a spot open here for October. Let's just throw them a gig, and then that's kind of the way I find this business is. It's very once you get to know them, you talk to them, you get a face, name to the face. It's hard when it's just this is Nathan Gerrior on his resume and a bunch of okay, you got the blues thing. Well, that's nice. It doesn't mean anything. I don't like. I just find it's very. It was like that back in the day when we used to do roofing a lot with my brother. You'd be doing a roof, and then the neighbor would come over and be like, "Hey, I got a barn. Can you do my barn?" And then, oh well, my wife's cousin's mother's sister says she's got a. It's very much like that. Just that small community thing.
I I mean, roofing, a word of mouth via roofing, obviously, something like that. If it's constantly like that I see more exponential growth in terms of performance. Like at that point, like you would have to be pretty damn lucky at a bar to have another booking manager on their day off at another bar and then hear you to be like, okay, damn, you're pretty good. You want to play at my bar?
Right,
I've
right.
yet to have that. My success rate for something like
No,
that is 0.
same here. Never. No, that's definitely a 0 for sure.
The annoying part, and you've probably experienced this, and I was talking to Sarah about this. When you, in terms of getting gigs, do you hunt for an email or do you try to talk to a booking man?
Uh, I've looked into booking managers. I've never really had much success.
There it is.
Um, I just never really like. I feel like it's something that I can do, but I feel like they could probably help you open doors. And then I don't know. I feel like it's something. It's definitely a great idea. Um, but I've just never really went that route before. I just pound the pavement, flip the rocks myself, I guess, kind of thing right now.
I basically cold call, which
Yeah,
is calling restaurants and asking for booking managers. And
yeah, that's
probably
what you do.
one of the worst things I ever hear, and it pisses me off. I was saying how much disdain I have for this when I hear this one phrase, right? If you call for the booking manager and it's not the
I think
booking
I already
manager,
know.
it's
Sorry,
not
I
the
know
booking
what you're
manager
gonna say.
talking. It's not like here's his number, here's the email on his business card. It's oh the booking manager's not in right now. You can leave your name and number and we'll send it off to him.
Yeah,
I hate that. I hate
and
that
that's the
because I will
one.
never get a call back.
You take a little note and you say, okay, that's the one to loop back around to that one maybe in a few weeks. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness. Yes,
Yeah,
Nathan. Yes. Oh my. The amount of times I've called. There's been certain places that I've literally called and circle back and circle back and circle back, and they're like, "Oh, he's not in," or "Oh no, she's not in." Leave your
I
name and
know.
number. We'll get
I've
back to
been
you.
there.
Oh,
Yeah. Sometimes you got to put them on the back burner too, and just be like, I'll come back in a couple months when it's you're a whole brand new person to them. You know what I mean? They
basically.
won't even remember you. Like you're like, oh, 2 months from now they won't remember Michael. Like, oh, some Michael got, and then they might finally get it on to the manager.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm looking at my planner, I have a physical planner which is just a calendar, big calendar, so I can write big and see stuff, and I also have Excel, and my summer is basically pretty booked. I have 3 Fridays that I can't get in. If I can get those in, fantastic. I just consume more lemon and honey and try not to die. But in terms of after that, so when I say summer, I mean like legitimate summer solstice, so that 13 weeks.
Yep.
And then after that, so basically October, November, and December, there's gigs there. There's maybe like 4, 5, 3 to 5 Saturdays open in like
That's when you kind
October
of
down.
probably loop back around to the early summer ones where you can kind of come back around. It's it's a game you got to play. You just and it's hard to not oversaturate. I know we're from Pictou County. It's like there is, I don't know. I'm just gonna. There's 10 watering holes. You know what I mean? So if you play it one or two every month, you kind of rotate it. Truro has what, another 10. Anakinis has 3. Like, so you got to kind of like play it. It's a little bit of a strategy where you got to kind of rotate a bit. Nice thing about summer though is you get those one-offs like the town gigs. There's always those events and stuff and festivals and stuff. So that kind of fills you in too. And there's the seasonal bars and the seasonal places. So
Seasonal
it's
ones are
kind of
very seasonal ones are very tricky. I just got to butt in for that. I've noticed like basically the gimmick was, and for doing cold calls was like, I just quickly Google bars with live music in insert county name, right? Or just insert part of province, right? Like so, like the seasonal bars. What's irritating is a lot of them just say temporarily closed. I'm like, then no one's gonna be there for calling.
I know. You got to kind of get them right when they flip the lights on, I think.
The thing is, when they flip the lights on, then it's too late, and it's like, oh, we already got our secret backlist of musicians,
Right.
and it's like, what do you
Yeah.
mean?
And that's another thing too with like a lot of places they have their crew, man. You know what I mean? It's like they have their dudes, they have their girls. They just and it's hard to like it's funny, I went and did a gig. It was outside of Sackville there in New Brunswick, and I walked in. I kind of had my Timberlands on and my sweatpants, and it was kind of still cold out. All these people had flannels and work boots and tough looking old, and I was just like, oh god, this is a bit of a different crowd, and I'm the new guy, not from here. And by the end of the night, they're all up singing and dancing, and the old men are up there dancing with the ladies, but it's just like I just yeah, it kind of like I feel like to break in somewhere new, you gotta kind of you gotta have something different. Like um, I don't know if it's like how can you show yourself off in a different way than all the other people who are trying to get their foot in the door, especially in the city. I imagine it's really hard. Like I don't know, like they look at your resume and they're just like same whatever. Like they don't, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I don't know what that thing is to kind of make your email, phone call kind of stand out.
I here's why I like the phone calls a lot, because they actually get to talk with you. You know, you're pitching and proposing yourself, like, because there's been a few times on phone calls where I say I want to play. They say, okay, what day? No proof, no proof needed,
That's yeah, yeah,
and it's fantastic. And then regardless, if they ask for proof or if they talk like, what are you about? They kind of like wean some information out of you before getting an email or just talking to them via text or whatever, and then you just get to connect and you get to just show how human you are, and I really enjoy that.
yeah. I'm much more of a face to face, or like you said, ear to ear, whatever you want to call it.
Old fashioned,
I,
man.
like my email probably has 17 typos. You know what I mean? I never really grew up that way, so they're probably like this guy. He can't even spell there, and there. Like what the
Oh no.
hell? Like you know what I'm saying? So they're probably like, I don't know this guy, but you get to talk to them. It's way better. But like you said, it's always the manager's not here, the booking agent's not here. I'll write your name down and put it in a cup up on the top shelf, and no one's gonna see it. But it's like I said, you kind of loop back around, pound on the door again. You're bound to kind of get your foot in the door.
You know what actually irritates me more than the manager is not here and all that is when you're calling a place, right? You and you're going well in advance for something that you want down the road, right? And they hit you with this fantastic, and if it is the booking manager, they hit you with this fantastic line that sends me through the goddamn roof. We're booked for the whole year.
Yeah, I get that one. Yeah.
I've had that
Oh, plenty of
three
times.
times.
Yeah, I've heard that one plenty of times too. And then they say, well, hit me up in the fall, but you got to be right on the money when you hit them back up because I feel like they have their people. Like they just have their people who play probably every Thursday, every second Saturday, every third, whatever. So they have their schedules. It's just they put it in the books, and then they don't got to think about it no more. And that's like where you gotta. It's hard to get your foot in the door at those places because they have their crew, and it's
Oh
probably
yeah.
like the same people. They know them by name. They know their grandma. They went to school with their sister. It's like those are the ones that are tough. You know what I mean?
Oh, like one of the spots was it was 19 Links of Brunello, and I emailed in,
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
and uh, they're like, "Yeah, we're booked for the whole year. If you hit us up in September, we'll get back to you." And there was another bar in like Hammond's Plains, Larry Utek area, did the exact same thing. Obviously, different booking managers. They both were like, "We're booked up for the whole year. Hit us up in September, and then we'll get something ready for the next year." So I did. No
Right.
response.
Yeah. And I feel like some places are just not super into music too. Like it's funny, it's the most oddest ones. It'll be a pizza place in the middle of nowhere. They're the ones who love having music. But then you'll have a prime real estate downtown Halifax. They just don't really like music that much. You know what I mean? Like the manager, or whoever's the owner. It's funny. I feel like it's like they have to like music to make it a music venue, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like that's a few places around here down home where it's like the owner could care less but he knows that a local musician will pull people in because again, everybody knows everybody back home here, and like, oh, Joe's down at let's go, we'll go have some wings or we'll get a slice or whatever. Like, so I feel like some managers and owners and booking agents just they could care less too. So you almost got to take it with like a grain of salt, and you're just like, you know, on to the greener pastures kind of thing. And it is tough though. Like you get a lot of rejection in this business. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
what I
I
found is when you do get on stage, you're like that. Well, it's on now because I'm getting that call back. That's what I like. That's what
yeah.
I like. That's like I did a good job, got the call back.
Basically, the mindset is like, all right, let's make sure they don't regret this decision, and just give her.
That was like the one outside up there in New Brunswick. It was my first time playing New Brunswick, and I was just like, oh my God, I don't think these guys are gonna like me. The waitresses were pretty cold and everyone was giving me the side eye. And I was like, oh God, but
Oh.
but it ended up being a great night. But I right off the bat, I was in my own head like this is gonna be a tough one.
um,
Yeah.
actually, my first time doing New Brunswick too, I was like that.
Yeah, I felt a little out of place. But they were probably the best crowd of the year. I said to them, I was like, you made me feel right at home and they were probably the funnest crowd of the year, which was I thought was really cool.
Probably my favorite crowds would have to be, oh goodness, New Brunswick crowds and Cape Breton crowds.
Yeah, I imagine Cape Breton's. I never really ventured out that way. I don't really know too much, but I imagine they're down for a good time. They seem pretty lively folks.
Oh, are they ever? They are.
Yeah,
They tip nice up there too.
right. Yes.
New Brunswick, they don't
Yeah.
tip as much, but you have the same volume of people.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
I was pissed terrified playing. The first time I was there was like the turn of the new year. It was like a few shows just right after Christmas. I played Hampton first. It was a duo, me and a girl on bass, and played Hampton first, and then we did Uptown St. John, and I was so terrified for that show. And right off the bat, um, I decided to get this song out of the way. It was "The Way You Make Me Feel" by Michael Jackson.
oh, okay, cool.
So yeah, hearing how I don't sound like I can sing that high, but I can. And like the staff said they turned over at neck snapping speeds because they thought the girl was singing. So
That's
basically
pretty
they're like,
cool.
yeah, who the fuck is this husky dude with a cowboy hat on singing Michael Jackson.
I
Yeah, we
like
want
that
him back.
threw the big curveball and they all just broke their necks trying to see who's singing. I love that, eh?
Yeah, they're like, okay, yeah, we definitely want this guy back. I guess after the show was done, we were like, yeah, we want you back.
Cool. Yeah. It's nice when you instantly get the validation, like, okay, you did a great job. And that's always nice. It's the ones where you're like, there's no manager, there's no booking agent, it's just the staff, like, oh, I feel like I did good. And then you might get the call back, or you get the email. So you get that little wonder for a few days of like, I don't know if I'm gonna see them again or
So it's the bar. It's really nice. I do talk to the person in charge, right? And basically after that, it was I would do like just the Saturday or something, right? And then I got to the point I was like, man, I need to make New Brunswick worth my while. Let me just do a Friday, Saturday, back to back shows. And basically, it takes 4 hours to get to St. John from my house.
yeah,
I
it's
said the
about the same
Friday
over the
Friday we got to shift it a little bit. I cannot do 9 o'clock because I get here at 9 o'clock. And they're like, okay, 9:30, 12:30. Sure, dive in. And then Saturday would be 9 to 12. And it's every time that I come, the staff always goes, "Are you singing Michael Jackson tonight?"
That's awesome.
The
Yeah. They're gonna
the
start asking like, do you know Billie Jean too? Could you throw that one in there, man? Or
I probably
like one
could,
of
but it
their
would just be so lame with an acoustic guitar.
they're just gonna start like requesting
Yeah.
next will be Prince and you'll start getting all kinds of
just hit him with like a uh.
and then just
But
start playing like a country song. Just like throw
they
them right
but yeah, that's
off.
the thing. I do a bunch of country as well too. So it's like it's such a flip flop. Like I'll do like I like to do a lot of genres, and like when I'm talking to booking managers, they say, "What do you play? What kind of music do you play?"
It's
So you got to
fun,
throw
isn't
everything
it?
at them. You just go like, "Oh, country, rock, pop, alternative, folk."
I know. And then it's kind of like they're wanting you to say what they want to hear. And you don't want to be like, well, I play the blues and rock and country. And then they're like, oh, well, I really wanted someone to do. And you're like, oh, for like, see, I find like we're the same with the multi genre thing, different eras. And um, I find if you get a little more specific with like the actual things, like we do this from the 60s and this from the 70s, and these guys are like, then they get a little bit more of a taste of it. Like I find I've had people where they're just kind of like, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like you kind of, it's such a broad thing, like where you play so many different genres.
The thing that I do is my main shtick if I'm playing a solo show nowadays is I just put on somewhere on the poster it just says 60s to now.
Pretty much. That's a good way to put it. 60s to now.
Yeah.
That covers all your bases.
Oh, it does it ever. And like what I like to do is I it's such a perfect like ploy for audience participation, right?
Right.
So what I hear, and it kind of saves my ass a little bit because someone requests a song that I simply don't know. I say right off the bat, if you shout out a decade, I will play something from that decade. It
Right.
and then it saves my ass because if they say play this, oh, I don't know that one. I'll have to learn it.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a good way to kind of broaden the horizon a little bit. You just kind of say, like, just tell me an era, and then I can kind of pull it
Yeah.
off from there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I like that.
and it works like and then the people will do it during the set and then I go take a breather and then I go around to the tables and I just say how is it sounding like can you hear the guitar and the voice really well and it's just like are you enjoying what's being played and then I'll say like well you came in a little after I started my set so basically what I do is this if you shout a decade or you can tell me a decade right now since I'm right here if you tell me a decade, I'll play it. And then I'll just go from table to table. And then I go, okay, so I got to do 60s, 80s, 90s, 70s, another 60s, 2000s. Okay, so then there's my first 6 songs because I don't go in with a set list. I just go in, what song do I want to do? You know?
Yeah, it's hard to do set lists because like the crowds are so different, the venues are so different. Like it gets busy, it gets like dead. It's like you got to kind of like, it reminds me a little bit like a pitcher. You got to kind of throw the fastball sometimes, and you got to take it back, and you got to walk a guy, and then you got to, this guy. It reminds me a little bit like pitching in a way, like where you got to kind of play the field, if that makes sense, I guess, for an analogy.
Yeah, I find doing that gimmick in New Brunswick is very successful. Again, I would just talk to the tables, and everyone would be like, "Oh my goodness, I'm loving what I'm hearing." And, like, you're doing all these songs that we know, and like the newer stuff that we've started listening to, and then I just go, "Yeah, here." And then they say, and then I'll just be like, "What decade do you want to hear?" I can start with it, and I'll just formulate, a list, and then just pick one song from that decade. And the only downside about that is it's like literally pull of the hat because it can be any song from that decade.
Yeah, it definitely leaves you wide open for sure,
Yeah.
which is nice. It leaves you a lot of options, which is good for sure.
Oh, is it ever? Because all of a sudden it's just like, okay, what decade do you want to hear? It's just like, oh, say someone says 60s. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Here's Sunday Morning Coming Down.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or someone's like, I want 90s. Oh, well, here's Write This Down by George Strait.
Yeah, it definitely saves it because there's that awkward like, oh, I don't really know it. What's another one? And then you don't know that one, and then because like sometimes people have like the wildest taste in music. Like you're expecting like, okay, they'll probably have something I'll know, and then they'll want some folk song from the '60s from some dude from Cape Breton, and you're just like, "Oh, of course I don't know this song. Like like
It,
it's funny. One day there, we had this one guy down Tatamagouche, and he just at the end of I'd say every third song, he'd make a beeline towards us, and he just wanted the craziest songs. Like he wanted us to do like Jefferson's Airplane, and he wanted us to do like I was just like, man, we don't know Jefferson Airplane. Like I like their songs, but like I just can't pull off a Steely Dan song unless it's like a slow song. But I don't. We're not. People aren't really into slow songs right now. And then
yeah.
he just had the wildest taste in music, and he'd come up every third song, and you got to be polite, and you're like, this guy probably has a buzz on, he's just having a good time, and so like sometimes you're just better off to just say, oh, you'll like this one, and you kind of just you'll see him over there, and you kind of give him the head nod, and like, you know what I mean. Sometimes you got to play to the not so much to exactly what they want. I like that technique you just said, where just an era. Like pick a genre and an era, and I'll try one for you.
Oh, not even
Like
genre. It's just you pick the decade, and then it's literally any song from 70 to 79, or 60 to 69, like something like that. And it'll be like, I'll do my research. I'll be like, when did this one come out? Like what? Like I'll usually hear like covers of them, and I'll know when those come out. But it's like, when did the original one come out? And
right,
sometimes,
right.
oh, there was one time someone said, during one of my shows in New Brunswick, they said, "You got something from the '50s?" I was like, "Oh, a secret menu item. Yeah, I got a Senior tune. Secret
That's
menu
pretty
item.
good.
Yeah."
That's
And it's
pretty cool.
always like Turn Back the Years, or Darling, Let's Turn Back the Years.
Right,
I heard Waylon's cover. That's from '75, but I was like, Hank Senior, he died in '59, so obviously his songs from the '50s.
right. Same with
Yeah.
Buddy Holly. Yeah, no, they're like I, I was always a big fan of the blues, so like I I liked music from like literally 100 years ago. I remember listening to like a lot of old tunes. Not that I play them live or anything, but I've always been just a bit of a history buff, and same with music as a history buff. Like uh, I like that old stuff, man. There's something about it just got a lot of soul. Not to be like cheesy, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not Bob Seger, but
Oh no,
there
no,
is
you're not
something
cheesy
about
about
that
it at all. That's
music.
right on the nose.
Like it just has soul to it, and but yeah,
What's
yeah,
funny? What's funny is in 2010s, right? That's 2010 to 2019, right? There's a lot of songs that people just seem to forget about. So like
Yeah,
2010s. If someone wants back-to-back 2010s, you know what? You know what I'd probably hit him with? I'd hit him with "Gold on the Ceiling."
great song. I
Then
actually
I hit
just
him with
started that.
"When It Rains It Pours" by Luke Combs.
Right,
And they're
right.
like, "What the hell?"
I find that is a bit of our problem because I've, again, bit of a like a music and history buff. Modern tunes are the ones that definitely lacking on, and it can be like we did one show there, and it was down at the Kanish with all the college kids. And I remember I walked in and the place was just packed. I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna suck. These guys are not gonna like the Allman Brothers or BB King, or I was like, this is gonna be. It's not, but they had the greatest taste in music, and I was like, I pulled. I was a little nervous because I was like, these kids are gonna eat me alive, man.
Yeah, because that's what you think. College kids is just like, or university kids, they're just gonna want to hear what's
Right.
here.
What's hot?
Yeah.
What's new? But they were like, oh, do you know the Eagles? Do you know Leonard Skinner? And I was like, oh, you guys are the best, right?
Ah.
Yeah. Then they liked a lot of country stuff, so I was like, oh, it's perfect. But I find like you maybe bad for summing up a crowd before you get going. You know what I mean? Like you kind of let them get in your head, and then you're like, you were dead wrong the whole time. Like,
For me, it's
yeah,
just I play what I want to play.
yeah, I'm the same. Like, I like to find a lot of like, I'll play the hits, but I like the B sides that are still somewhat popular, but they're like fun to play to me. You know what I mean?
I've heard that saying so many times. B sides, like, because if I'll go listen to an album, if there's something that I like, technically would be on the A side. What I you know what I just call it forgotten gems.
Yeah, there are hidden gems, and a lot of those bands like Tom Petty or The Hip, or there's so many good ones that you just like. They don't. They may not be their in your face ones, but there's so many good ones, and
Like
those are like the ones that are funner to play too.
You're So Bad on Tom Petty's Full Moon Fever. That's B
Right.
side.
Yeah, he's like that's probably one of my favorite albums, man. Like I would say it's like a 10 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. I don't know how many songs are on it, but it's right up there. I usually skip Free Fallin' for some reason on that one
Because you
because
just
I've
hear it
heard it
so
so
many
many
times.
times. Right.
I
But
skip
yeah,
that. I skip Won't Back Down. Um,
yeah.
I as I just overhear them, but they're very phenomenal songs. Love is a Long Hard Road, Facing the Crowd, Running Down a Dream, Whole Lot Better, Apartment Song, um, You're So Bad, and then there's
Zombie Zoo.
Zombie Zoo. I'm not a fan of it. The last three songs in the album I can live without. Like
Right.
I think one of them's
Zombie Zoo
called
is
like
always a
All
bit
Right for Now
different.
or something, or like You're All Right for Now. Like that one
Yeah,
I can live without it.
it's a little more like I mean, it's a little more like pop country. It's got a bit of a different feel than the other ones. I find.
My
I
other
find those two. Zombie Zoo doesn't. I feel like it's a little. I don't know. It's a. It's. I can see why it's on the B side for sure.
my other
But
favorite album, start to finish, would have to be Damn the Torpedoes.
yeah, great. Hey.
Start to finish.
Yeah, those are definitely a no skip.
Deluxe
I would say.
edition with the extra songs on the Casadaga. Oh man,
Right.
Casadaga is
I
so fun.
know. Like Steely Dan is like their very first one. Can't buy a thrill. It's just a sweet album, man. Like I bought the vinyl there a few years back, and I don't even think I opened it up out of the plastic. But yeah, I find the Hip you can't really go wrong. Like their first, I'm gonna say 6 albums are probably there might be a skip here and there, but pretty flawless. Like
I I like start to finish up to here.
uh, okay, you almost got me there. I know who is it up to here.
That's Tragically Hip.
Oh, okay.
So
I
that's
was
like New
like,
Orleans is sinking, blowing high
right, right,
dough,
right,
38 years old, opiated. Yeah,
right.
that album start to finish. That's my favorite hip album.
I always liked the first two. I don't know why. I always seem to go to those. They're a little more little more like not grungy, but they're just got a little more of that like trying to make it feel. I find, you know what I mean? Like they're just.
Oh yeah.
Like, I always find that about first albums, and like they're still hungry. They're just it's all the things they've been working off since they've been started their careers. And
The
I find sophomore albums can be great too, but it's like those will be the ones that didn't make the first album.
the what would it be? It would technically be I think it's the first album of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Because if you're searching up Tom Petty versus Tom Petty, you have to deliberately do either or when it comes to like
with
Apple Music or something. I think it's his first
with or
album,
without, right?
Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Um, that album, that being their first album, that one feels like they've been at it for a good amount of time.
I think they were. I think they were pretty veteran road band, and like they were pretty seasoned by the time they got their deal. I feel like.
Yeah, what was funny though is Damn Torpedoes was the one that got them out of bankruptcy.
Right. It's kind of like Kiss Live, where they had no money, so they just did a live album. They're just like, oh, I guess we better just press play here on this next show in Detroit or somewhere.
But
Ended up being one of their biggest ones, yeah.
yeah, it soared Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers up to like one of the best rock artists of that decade.
Oh man, yeah. Like I remember during COVID, I went through all their discography, and like I would say that he's probably got, and pretty conservatively, I would say like 130 good songs, man. Like good songs that you would be like, I'll listen to this again, and I could listen to 130. Like he's got they're so good. They're definitely like maybe even a little underrated nowadays. Like I don't think people know. I find them in the hip. Like if you dig deep in behind all of like the main ones, so many good songs. Like they're and I find them really strong lyrics, and then the band is just tight, and they're like riff masters. You know what I mean?
Sheepdogs comes to mind,
Yeah, super cool. I love the
or
sheepdog.
July Talk.
Right. They kind of got that old flair to them, like kind of like the 70s vibe, but modern times.
Yeah, I'd basically throw them under alternative, basically like a heavier Nirvana or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like everybody's kind of reaching into the past for like even our songs, like you get a vibe off of all of them. It's just like just times gone by, we're just trying to kind of and their influences are obviously gonna seep through just like theirs did, and but I feel like I would say a lot of people kind of have that one foot like trying to go back, and that could just because of modern times itself. Like,
uh, I mean, I can see it. Like, you can go back because for two reasons. One, yeah, you want to pay homage to the people that helped you get to where you are, and secondly, would be like everything new is just straight garbage.
you have to really dig. I find like I feel like back in the day, like you could go in any genre, like, and you're gonna get something good. You
Oh yeah.
had to be top notch. I feel like the pool got so big that everybody gets to swim. You know what I mean? If that kind of makes sense. Like
I feel like the pool got the same size and just too many people are coming in.
it's overcrowded.
Especially in Halifax. I will always say it, Halifax is very oversaturated. So it's come
Right.
down to where you kind of nailed the into the board with one fucking swing. Um it is oversaturated and they got their people and they got their clicks. Not I don't want to get political or call people out, but it's like it it is that. It is exactly that.
Yeah.
There's spots that I can't even get into in Halifax, and it's just like, man, why do I have better success out of my own county?
And the funny thing is, you might even get a gig in there and then be like, man, this gig sucked. Like, nobody even liked it.
Yeah.
And then you'll go to a small town outside of Halifax, and be like, man, the people were great. It was a dungy old dive bar, but man, the people were awesome.
Right. That's
I
usually what it is. Like that's about half. That's about half the time. There's
I
spots that
find the
I'm just
small
like
towns are the best.
I want to get into. Like I want to because it looks good in there.
Yeah, and it's almost like I kind of used it a few times. The grass is greener, but then it's like I don't know. Maybe we're just looking at the wrong field. You know what I mean? Like, but I haven't been able to break into Halifax at all. I've tried. I mean, I do Coldstream and I do a couple places outside of the city, but like in the city itself, it's been very. We have our people. We're booked for the year. Just email, call this place, like. But it, I think I think it's just the way it is, man. People are. You just keep knocking on the door, and I said that a few times too on this interview. But I think that is the thing: just being persistent and just constantly like, okay, well, I'll come back. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I did that with one bar there. I won't say the name, but I don't think the manager. We had 3 gigs there last year, and then just could not get our foot back in the door. And I was just like, I don't know what we did. We sounded great. Everyone had a good time, and then I was just like, I kind of almost gave up. And I was like, I kept messaging. Like, every couple months, I'd message, and then I'd give it a couple months and say, hey, and then I finally was just like, I'm just gonna give up on this place. And then I was like, you know what? Just one more time, I'm just gonna say, hey. And the girl's like, there's a new manager. Here's her number. Perfect. Ended up scoring a few gigs over the summer. I was like, see, I was
Hell yeah.
just about to give in. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That happened with me on a few at a certain spot in Stewiacke, and we played there once, and people liked it. And then I just tried time and time again to email. I'm like, what is going on here? And then all of a sudden, this woman just emails me out of nowhere and says, call this number right now. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, is this insert name? And it was
Right.
like, yep. I'm kind of taking over, are doing a little more than what the owner is doing for booking. So like, I'm sorry, I'm now only seeing your emails, but here's 3 gigs.
That's good. See, and then I know myself, I'd get in my own head. I'd be like, man, did we not sound good? Was it too loud? Was it? I don't really remember talking. Like so. Then you start going inward when really it's probably something on the other end. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And I've always been bad for that, where you start kind of beating yourself up, and it's like when really it was the budget or management change or you know what I mean, et cetera, et cetera. So
Oh,
that's kind of another part of the game too, is just kind of being persistent, I think.
I mean, I've done it to the point so much where it's just like I say that I'm in. Like I've got my experience in the scene, right? Um and then I see people that where I used to be in their shoes, they're trying to get in, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And then it's just like I I got to help them because they're struggling as bad as I was.
yeah. No, I feel you there. Like I find like again, Pictou County is very like I find we're lucky, very community based. So like when we see the up and comers, it's just like we're always rooting for them. Even like some up and comers from Truro, like that we know, we're like I just feel like they are the ones who probably have a better chance of making a real go of it. Like where they're 20, they're 24, 25. We're pushing 35. I feel like, they're the ones who probably need the little bit of a, you know, you guys can do this more than we can. But
Yeah. I'm coming to that point. Mind you, I'm, 27 in a few days, but I still see people that are there's people that want to break into it, and it doesn't matter the age. So what I've done is like, 2 people that I were rooting for, I just said, you know what? Here's a list of of like places. Here's just a list. Have fun. Like tell me your success rate, and
Yeah,
then just go swinging, right?
that's pretty
And
cool. I like that.
yeah, I still have it on my. Took a picture of it. I wrote it down. I took a picture of it. I gave the actual physical list to a friend, but then like everyone else that asked for it, I just go search for my photo and be like, here it is.
Cool. No,
And they're
that's
like,
good stuff.
yeah, one of my friends, he was playing a lot, had his band, and then it got like very weird. He kind of took a major step back and blacked everything out on socials, and then comes back into the scene. And it's like, oh my god, what the fuck happened to you? You know? And he's like, man,
Right.
I just want to play gigs again. What I was doing with that band was too fucking weird. And I was like, well, I can help you. Here's a list of gigs or a list of bars. Everything except Cape Breton that is on my list. And before I even gave him the list, I was giving him some other spots as well. Then all of a sudden he's like, "Yo, I got PEI, I got Kentville, I got this state in Tantallon, I got this," and I was like, "There you go, man.
Yeah.
This is we're getting you back on the map here. You got a PEI gig, you got a Kentville gig, you got a friggin' Tantallon gig. Obviously, you're gonna find some gigs in your town in Lunenburg, like." And you have maybe like the 40 or 50 I gave you right there.
Yeah, it sounds like the band was kind of slowing them down a little bit.
Technically, it wasn't
It's,
slowing them down. They just went into a rut of degeneracy.
oh, I've been there, man. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
kind of
that
just back
happens.
away. You just like, and it sucks because he was the front man too. So it's really tarnished his reputation as well. So he was like, you know what? I'm out.
Well, if that's what he needs to do to better himself, like I don't. I've been there, man. We've that's probably what was probably for the best by the sounds of that.
Yeah, but it's good to see him back into the swing of things, like back to where he used to be. Because like when he started getting things started getting weird, he wasn't smiling anymore.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, and now every time I see him, he's all smiles. Like, I'm like, man, it's good to actually have you back.
Probably feels refreshing too. Something new. Took a break because like I find the whole thing can be it's a grind, man. It can grind you out. It can burn you out. Like the constant hustling and the constant like social media aspect, the constant trying to write new material, learn new covers. Like you're always trying to find a new place. You gotta the logistics. Like for us, we got 3 kids, so it's like constantly the logistics of babysitters and who's going where and when's hockey practice. So
Oh,
it can be like it's an everyday thing where like people might kind of looking on the outside like, wow, you just kind of play at bars, but it's like, yeah, but it's a full time job. Like it's how you got to make it. You know what I mean? You got to constantly be kicking down doors and constantly tapping on windows. Like I said, like
yeah.
you know
It's
what I mean?
oh, it's I said a few things from last episode with Sarah. I said to her, I was like, if I had an agent, if I had the money to pay an agent, and I just didn't have to lift the finger anymore, they would just tell me like, you're playing here, 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 these dates, and then she tells me, man, you just need a husband. What? Like, what? I need to change my sexual orientation for that one. What? Basically,
uh,
because her husband drives her around and like is
right.
the sound guy as well. Basically, just like taking her everywhere. She just got to show up and play, right? That's what she meant by
No,
get a
that's
husband. I'm
true.
just like, man.
I can vouch for that. Meg is definitely she's she's the media artist. She's the contract negotiator. She's the bubbly personality who talks to the staff. Like, so it is nice to have someone in your corner. Like I maybe never mentioned Meg enough in this because like to have like your partner riding with you and you're doing it together, it's it is super cool. It's like not only do we like we're raising a family, we're trying to pay the bills, but we're trying to write music together and gig together. Like it's nice. It is nice to have someone in your corner. You know what I mean?
Shout out, Meg.
Yeah, yeah. She's probably she'll probably listen to this and be like, "You sounded crazy on that interview."
The I'm
What are you
surprised.
talking about
I'm
kicking
gonna be
down
surprised.
door?
Like during this whole talking, she's gonna like knock on the window, and be like, "What are you doing?"
What are you doing in the car for 2 hours? It's the only place I get some peace and quiet, woman.
Oh,
Nah, I'm
jeez.
just playing.
I mean, yeah, it was good. It was really good to talk to you. Finally, get to like actually know what you're about besides just talking behind a screen. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
'Cause-
it's definitely nice to actually make. It's nice to like kind of be able to put a voice in the name, a face in the name, personality. Because I feel like you mentioned Brandon Silver. Like I feel like I know I've seen him play, seen his posters, know where he plays, but you know what I mean. Like you must have that same thing with a lot of musicians where you're kind of on the outside looking or inside looking out or wherever you want to put it. Like
Yep.
you see them, you acknowledge them, but you just don't really never got a chance to meet them.
Yeah, because we're all so damn busy. Every Friday and Saturday, maybe some Thursdays. That's the time to go do your own thing.
I think restaurants and bars need to start doing double bills, like double books, because that would be a lot cooler for the musicians.
Double
You know
books.
what I
You
mean?
mean
Like
like a
like
certain
two people
time
on the
and
bill.
then certain time after that?
Yeah, and then you kind of at least you get to you know meet some more people that way because it's always just this person or this band at this place. I imagine up in the city it's a lot more like you said, more people on a single bill.
Uh, the only thing is, well, multiple bands on a bill is something for like ticketed venues, something like that, right? Where you got to pay money to go see them. And and you also reached out to me for that, but it was like, you're so goddamn far away. It would be like playing late at night. There'd be like no point. Not saying you guys aren't great, because you guys are great. Um,
No, I
but it's
get
just
it
like
for
it's
sure.
almost 2 hours away to go play 45 minutes. No, that is so a waste of your time.
No, understandable for
Yeah.
sure.
Like if
That's
it was
another
somewhere
thing
closer,
too.
like if it was something up in Truro and they wanted like 3 acts on a bill, and the bill was under my responsibility, I'm like, well, I'm getting 11th and Duke, and I'm getting Gypsy River. There you go, done.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing too about the whole game is like to make it profitable and make sure you're not getting underbid is like I know a few venues where you're just like, man, you guys ripping all of us off, man. You're getting
Aim
all
high,
this music. What's that?
aim high.
Yeah, like and then there's like some places that are really generous and you gotta like I feel like you almost have to give them a little more when they're more generous, you know what I mean? But there
And
is a lot of venues out there that just lowball the hell out of all of us, man.
yep, there's and in terms of like, I want to circle back because the double booking sounds phenomenal, right? But there's a downside.
Yeah, I can already
Business has to be
as soon as
booming
it came
if
out
they're
of
all
my
going to pay
mouth.
you nicely.
Right, exactly.
Here's a staple example: Nashville. Nashville probably, like, everyone thinks Nashville is so goddamn awesome, right? And I will be one of those people that says it's so goddamn awesome if you're a tourist.
Right, yeah.
If you're a
Imagine trying to
musician,
break in. You'd
it
have to be
is
something good.
it is no, it's so nerve-wracking as a musician. Reason being, um these bars, right? There's bars next to bars next to bars next to bars, all on Broadway, right? It's a 4-hour gig, $150 bar, like, paid out by the bar. You obtain your money through tip requests. Basically, you incentivize a request, like, and I've seen it a lot. Minimum $20 for a request of a song, and so
Right.
you get $100, and then the amount of tips that all goes to you. 4 hours. Then it is a half-hour intermission. Band tear down, other band set up, sound check. Next 4 hours is that band.
Yeah.
That is nerve
I'm
wracking.
not I'm matching. It's probably pretty a lot of starving artists probably in that town.
Oh, you want to talk about
For sure.
oversaturation?
Yeah, I
Every bar,
imagine.
every bar. When I went down there almost 2 years ago, every bar. And if bars had multiple floors, every floor.
Right. Crazy,
There was
eh?
a band playing. Everyone had in-ears so they wouldn't hear the next bar over.
Right. Jeez.
Yeah, it was like everywhere we walked into, band. Every floor we walked into, band.
Feel like we're so like small town fortunate, if that makes sense. Like on the East Coast, we have our scene. We even Halifax, Moncton, Charlottetown, St. John's. Like they're so like in the grand scheme of things, small towns. Like, but we make the scene happen. And that like, and we have so many different like all the genres. We have, like you said, like the younger people coming up, and even the older guys, like all the greats that we had come through. It's kind of like refreshing in a way where we don't have to do like that. Like we're pretty fortunate with our small towns and our, moderate sized cities that like we feel like it's a little saturated, but when you mention Nashville, you're like, well, maybe it's not so bad, you know what
Well,
I mean?
in terms of the Atlantic provinces, I'll count Newfoundland. In terms of saturation, oh man, oh man, uh, I'd say the least saturated would be New Brunswick.
So yeah, it's pretty wide open country up there, all wooded, and,
Yeah.
and cities are farther apart and whatnot.
No, Sydney cities are closer.
The cities are closer in New Brunswick.
Yeah. Remember, I was like, this one's 15 minutes from this one. This one's 15 minutes from that one. Everything's right next to each other. But if I ever go out, say for like take a paid vacation from work and just go for a week, and I just go to bars, be like, hey, I'm playing. They're like, okay, cool. You want this day? Okay, cool. You want this day? And then all of a sudden, in like an 8-day span, I got 6 gigs. Cough, cough. That's what's coming up in August. Like 6 different shows in 8 days.
Right.
Then tied, I guess, for second place, third and second place. It's very like delocalized. They can go either or third or second place. Have to be PEI in Nova Scotia.
Right.
I found a more difficult time to get gigs in PEI than I did last year.
Yeah, I've been trying to branch out again. It's pretty tough. Like even talking to them on the phone, you try to set stuff up. It's I've been trying to set something up for our vacation over there for a few gigs, just to offset the cost of not gigging for a week, and it is hard to break in for sure.
I don't even want to. I haven't ever touched Newfoundland yet, but I have a feeling if I did, it would be a less than 5% chance of my ass getting in there.
I think I'm pretty sure it's pretty like tight knit from what I heard. Like it's pretty tight knit in the cities,
I
and like people, and it's that they have their gig for the year kind of thing at the bars and whatnot.
I think the smart thing to do would be just look up every bar on George Street and then just call one by one by one by one.
Pretty much, yeah.
I have my one of my guitarists. I have two bands. I have the country band, and then the one that plays, well, that got nominated for blues recording. I switched over to country from blues. Um, but my guitarist for my other band, he's from St. John's, right? And he always says every time he goes up, he's like, "Oh, it's crazy up on George Street. Get silly up there." And I was like, "Okay." And I think like that's probably the method to do. If if this one goes well, like this whole like summer solstice show, if this goes well, I might trickle on to Newfoundland. I might add Newfoundland as well. That being said, it's like, where really do I gotta ask? If I struggled from January to now to fill all these dates, how sooner do I have to call Newfoundland?
I feel like it would probably be good for your like how do you put that? Like it might not be a super big financial game, but it would look good on the resume and it'd be good to branch out and like you know what I mean? I think it'd be a little bit more of a passion like tour if that makes sense. because like I feel like it'd be
Yeah, you're
tough to make it financially.
you're
You'd have to book a lot of gigs around a couple weeks, kind of thing. But there is a
you're
lot of bars, I must say. I
you're
remember we were up
you're
there.
taking the words out of my mouth here.
We did the kissing the cod last year on George Street.
Uh-oh.
Uh, did the whole ritual, and we took the shot of Screech and kissed the cod and did the big saying thing or whatever at Trapper John's.
Ugh.
But it's like one of the oldest pubs in Canada. It's just a hole in the wall, man. It's pretty cool though.
That part I'm gonna fear if I play in St. John's. I don't want to do that. I don't like alcohol. I don't want to kiss a fish.
I don't. That was the first shot of booze I had in about 3 years, and it's the last shot I had. So
There was one
I
time.
think the liquor was worse than kissing the fish.
Oh God. So I just disdain the taste of alcohol. It touches my
Uh,
tongue. I'm upset with it. Um, the last time I did St. John, New Brunswick, there was this group of people that came in and they were loving everything, and then all of a sudden, um, one of the staff put something up on the stage for me. I was like, "What the fuck is that? God, no way that." But then all of a sudden, they said, "We're doing shots. We got you a shot," and I was like, "Oh God, what is in that?" And they said, "Fireball." I said, "Oh, oh God, okay."
it's when you throw
So
it over your shoulder.
no, no. Oh God, no, because I'd be slipping on it. So I took it like a man, and I was like, if I spit this out or if I show like disdain, I'm getting dragged through the mud.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I just had to take it. I just quickly downed it, and I felt it in my body for like a half hour. Started
Uh,
drinking water immediately. I was like,
yeah, I remember the old fireball, man. Yeah, it's sassy stuff.
first and last time. First and last time. Oh God. It's just
Yeah.
it's bitter. The bitterness from the alcohol. Then all of a sudden you have the heat and like the unfavorable feeling of the cinnamon, and you're just there
Hate
like,
cinnamon right off the bat.
I like cinnamon sugar, but that's it. You know, you have
Cinnamon
bitter
toast
and
crunch pretty sweet.
you have bitter and you have heat, and you're just like, ah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of booze, man. I've been off it for a little over 3 years now, and I ain't looking back. I don't touch the stuff no more.
Good on you, man.
Yeah, it's just no good. And I'm a bit of a addictive personality, so I don't touch stuff no more. And best thing I ever did for myself.
Yeah, I guess like basically it was just the smell that made me like ward off of it. Like I would smell it and I would know like if there was like beer present. I'd just go, yeah, it's a beer smell.
Yeah. Oh God, yes.
Like if that
Some
smells
places.
weird, it's probably gonna taste equally as weird, and that kind of like wired my brain. So every time I tried so many just to actually try and like it. You're like, and that's the thing. If you're forcing yourself to like it instead of just letting it grow on you, you're obviously not gonna like it. And that's same with coffee. I can't.
No, don't
I
like
can't.
coffee. I didn't start drinking until I was uh 30, almost maybe even 31. I started drinking it, so
What,
I
coffee?
never touched it. Yeah, I started drinking it when I was about 30, but now I drink it. But
I
I
can't.
uh, I always said I just don't need another addiction. Why would I start drinking coffee? But here I am, a coffee drinker.
Yep, good old caffeine goes through you. You're just like, oh, that coffee was amazing. Oh, I gotta go piss.
Yeah, fair enough. That's definitely true.
Oh man. Oh. Well, anyways, Nathan, it was great to finally talk to you. Reiterating
No,
what I
thank
said
you.
about like 10 minutes ago. But
No, I appreciate you having me, man. It was a blast. Nice to meet you and get to know you a little bit.
yeah, it was. If I'm ever free, which is, oh man, that's rare for me to say that. If I'm ever free, and I got nowhere to go, if there's a Nathan or 11th and Duke show, I will try my darnest to come out to
Yeah,
the show.
sure. No, and vice versa, man. If we ever get down your way, would like to come see you for sure. Or if
Or
you're
even
ever
if
up
I'm
here
playing
this
up
way
close your
playing.
way, because I got some shows in, Colchester like for these next few months. So
Yeah.
it'd be, kind of meet you in the middle a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Oh man. Yeah, I'll let you turn your dome light off and save your battery there. Thank you very much. Nathan.
No, thank you again, man. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, I think it's time for us both to go to sleep now. Alrighty.